Hey there, gorgeous. My name is Melissa, and I am also known as the Taropist, and I am going to be your tarot card reader. Guys, we are going to do a full sized love reading today for the collective, so this can resonate for any placement of any zodiac sign at any time, and it can be anywhere from single to married and anywhere in between, just whomever you have on that beautiful mind of yours. Guys, I am going to go into a little bit of an introduction about myself, the structure of the reading, and personal readings. If you are not interested or you've already heard this all before and you'd like to skip right into the beginning of the reading, I am going to leave a timestamp in the pinned comment below, and you're welcome to click on that and jump right into the beginning of the reading. For those of you who are interested in knowing a little bit more about myself, again, I am the Taropist, and anything that you would ever need to know about myself or the channel, you can find either in the description box below, the channel description, or my community tab. You can certainly always check out my website, which is www.thetarotist.com. And I am currently closed for Zoom and FaceTime personal readings. However, I am still available for pre recorded and email readings. And all of the information you need about those are going to be listed in the description box below. There's also an email address down there. You can certainly email me if you have any further questions about that. Guys, the personal readings are going to be the only way to guarantee that I pick up on your personal situation. However, if you are unable to or uninterested in purchasing a personal reading and you would like me to be more likely to pick up on your personal situation in my collective readings, then make sure you are engaging with the channel in as many ways as possible. This is just going to make it a little bit easier for me to pick up on your particular threads of energy over the other threads of energy that may be kind of orbiting the channel here. It's not a guarantee. However, again, the more people engage, the more often I tend to pick up on their personal situations. So, some easy ways that you can engage with the channel are by liking or commenting on any of the videos or the community tab posts. You can certainly always share any of my content. And my personal favorite, and I think the most powerful way for me to be able to pick up on your personal situation in my collective readings is by you clicking the little subscribe button below. If you are going to subscribe to the channel, guys, and you would like to be notified when I do upload or go live in the future, then make sure you have your notifications set to all. Um, I was going to say, about the structure of the reading, guys. We are going to start out in the first column with your energy. Second column is going to be the person you have on your mind's energy. And then the third column will be a potential outcome. Because I am just picking up on energies here, you can certainly always reverse roles 1 and 2. Again, I'm reading for a collective audience, so they're not going to be cut. These are not customized readings. So just try to use your intuition to make the reading fit into your situation. Of course, never force the reading to fit for you. So if it just doesn't resonate, then it's probably just not your reading. And certainly you can check out other readings or other readers. Again, the outcome here will be potential. So this means that just because the energy is available to you does not guarantee anything, and any actions that you take in your physical reality are ultimately going to shape your physical reality. Okay, let's get after it. We're going to start out with these green guidance love messages here. I regret I messed everything up. I need time to heal myself first. I feel so lost without you, and we are soulmates. Okay, it does feel like a connection that came in before one or both parties was prepared or ready for this type of an intense connection. We're gonna get some light seers tarot here though, and get a base energy. The Seven of Pentacles here in your energy. Seven of Pentacles is a card of investment. So I want to say it's not a card that moves very quickly. It talks about the need to nurture something into existence or water something and care for something properly so that that you will in fact see the results you're hoping for. And then the person that you have on your mind has the Five of Pentacles. So I do feel like they feel quite abandoned by you. And we're going to get more on that, or rejected even by you. And I think it's because you needed some time to invest into yourself. I got two cards. I am going to take them both. Four of Cups and the Tower card in the end, in the outcome here. And the Nine of Cups and the overarching energy. The Nine of Cups is a great card. It's the overarching energy here, but I do see the Five of Cups under that. I feel like the potential is here for to be have a very emotionally satisfying or fulfilling. I mean, been getting like the kind of love you've always dreamed of is the energy the Nine of Cups is giving on the overarching energy of a love connection. It can indicate wish fulfillment or total emotional fulfillment. But there's a lot of tough energies already involved here, and it does feel like a strong, intense soulmate connection. However, what goes into or the preparation needed for this type of a connection, this type of intensity, there's a lot of self healing, self work, um, and we're gonna get more. So the outcome here is a Four of Cups with the Tower card, and it's like a card of well, the Four of Cups is like a card of apathy, and it talks about not really being able to enjoy things that are enjoyable. And it feels like because of some sort of abrupt change with the Tower card is Mars energy. It represents, so it rules, Mars rules over the signs of Scorpio and Aries. And this is a really powerful energy, but it can feel very disruptive. And again, it can feel very abrupt. But what it always means is that there's a lot of things in our life that are not substantial. And the Tower is like a storm. It really comes in to see what has the what's this, the grit, what is substantial, what has the will to make it or survive the storm here. And it really helps us clear away anything that really was very flimsy or didn't have any substance. You have the Three of Swords in your energy. So I'm getting like you had to walk away from somebody and it absolutely destroyed you, broke your heart. So it does feel like a mutual connection here. These are tough energies. Like I said, this isn't an easy situation, but something in like this, it feels like the connection itself is very simple. It's very natural. It's not forced. It's just there. However, what it takes to bring this connection in is again, really getting rid of and releasing anything that does not align with our greatest good or our highest life so that we can get onto the right timeline for this connection. So when there is a soulmate connection or a connection that we're meant to spend the rest of our lives with, kind of a happily ever after situation, and I won't be surprised if I do get the Ten of Cups in the outcome here. But it entails us really breaking everything in our lives down to the foundation so that we can rebuild from a more substantial space or a more, what's the right word? I think that's just it, substantial. It means if we have a lot of different connections, even jobs or things in our lives that really don't align with our greatest good or who we were meant to be, these things are falling away, but it does feel like a lot of loss. It feels almost like when it rains, it pours. But ultimately, what we are doing is raising our frequency again to get onto the right timeline or frequency or level of consciousness to be able to receive the connection that was meant for us. Again, when we are in a lower frequency or allowing settling, okay, is actually the energy that's coming here. So when we're settling for all the things in our lives because we thought we had to settle because we didn't think we could actually attain or obtain the things that we truly desired or wished for in this lifetime, that keeps us in a lower frequency. All of the things that we settled for, they're not on the timeline of our greatest good or our highest consciousness. Again, going through these Tower moments is what clears away all of the things that aren't meant for us so that we can vibrate higher. And it's a process, but so again, it's not easy, but it is worth it in the end. You're going to receive the type of connection that not everyone receives in this lifetime. A lot of people stay in situations that they settled for because they felt like they had to settle for them. And then sometimes it's out of obligation, even if they've realized or awakened to the reality that they no longer have to settle, or that, again, we are the creators of our own reality and the choices that we make ultimately shape our reality. Okay. So sometimes when we settle for everything in our lives, it's because we haven't even had a visual or physical representation of how good it could get or something like that. And either you've seen somebody else get it by way of working diligently on themselves, or I want to say you ran into somebody who made you realize that all of the things you used to be very hopeful of and dimmed down over the years by way of societal conditioning, or the way that you saw, that you were taught that things should be. You need to have, a wife or a husband, a spouse, 2.5 children, a white picket fence, all these things that society would tell you are the only way for you to be a upstanding member of society. Again, I feel like you had to walk away from somebody, and it's like more than their heart being broken. I do feel like they feel rejected by you, by the way, or abandoned by you. But more than that, I feel like it broke your own heart more because you knew how you felt about this person, but there was something in the way, and it could have just been a need to do some healing, or it could have been a karmic connection. But let's find out more. They have the five. By the way, so the Four of Wands, again, is about kind of you leveling up into a new frequency here by the way of getting your heart broken or breaking your own heart. And then the uh, Queen of Swords, it's like the way that this is the boundaries that I was just talking about. It says like setting up now these new boundaries so that you no longer invite things that are not in alignment with the life that you've always dreamed of, or no longer settling for things that are just okay or mediocre or don't align with you and your highest good and or your truest and most authentic self. The Moon card in their energy, there's a song coming through by Adele, and I don't even know the actual words, but it's like, "Da-da in the deep, you have my heart inside of your hands and played it to the knee." I don't know. I will link that in the description box below. Then the King and the Queen of Swords show up. It's like two people trying to navigate a situation that should be navigated through the heart, but with their mind. And again, it's like anything that's meant to be is going to continue to circle back around and until you're ready for these things. So walking away from a situation that you weren't prepared for or weren't ready for in order to get ready for it is very admirable. But again, at this time, I feel like you're navigating the logical side of things, and not quite ready to move towards what your heart is telling you to move towards. And we're going to get more on the outcome here. The World card is about you both clearing up these cycles of settling and learning how to live more intentionally. So they have the Page of Pentacles, the Moon card, and the King of Swords. And again, they're trying to learn how to navigate logically or what's the right strategically is actually the energy I'm getting, which I don't always get on the King of Swords, through some of the deepest emotions they've ever felt and learning how to be more vulnerable. And now I want to say that you all never had a conversation here, it feels like, and there is a need for conversation. And then the Eight of Wands did come out. So communication is key. And I like to bring this up in all of my readings because I say at the very beginning that just because the energy is available here does not guarantee us anything. The connection might be real as it gets, but nobody, including the divine, can force you into the connection. There needs to be vulnerable communication and authentic communication between the two of you here. And this is ultimately how you're going to kind of complete the cycle of settling for things. Again, a lot of times we settle for things that are just okay because we're terrified of the things that would actually mean the most to us. We're terrified about being rejected by those things or by failing at those things, whatever it is. And then we do have the Justice card. So it does talk about your clear and vulnerable communication ultimately will lead to a victory here, or justice being served, or even a contract. This could be leading to marriage, of course, with the Justice card here, but it does talk about that the only way to kind of get the things that we are owed. I don't know if owed is the right word. So when you're a good person and you put a lot of good energy out into the universe, you do always get those things back to you, but you do need to actually be on the frequency or awareness that you deserve those things. And I think both of you are going through a healing process to kind of get to this frequency or the right timeline in order for this connection to come in. And again, ultimately, you getting onto that frequency is going to bring everything that you are that's due to you is what I'm getting here with this energy. Okay. Again, it's going to come by way of it's feeling like you're losing everything that you worked so hard to have. And I don't mean every dollar, every job, but it's like when you have to work so hard to have something or keep something, there is not, there is a lot of work that goes into even a soul connection or a connection that is genuine and meant to be. But when you feel the need, this is what they're bringing up, to kind of like constantly prove yourself to people, places, and situations in your life, it's because those things aren't really aligned with you. And anything that is aligned with you is going to understand your worth innately. So, in order for you to receive all the things that you are in fact worthy of, you need to feel that you're worthy of it or know that you're worthy of it and get on the right frequency. So, when you're not feeling worthy of all the things you've ever dreamed of, you're on a lower frequency. That thought alone or that feeling is a lower vibration or a lower frequency. So, getting onto a frequency of gratitude and self love is going to actually bring this in for you. But I feel like you guys are both kind of diving into the depths of what has created this lack of self-awareness, or no, lack of self-love, lack of self-esteem. Self-worth is actually the energy that's coming through. So once you guys are done cleaning that up, it looks like you will both kind of meet on your highest timeline, okay, and be able to bring this connection into fruition. Feels beautiful, guys. If you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button, and I will see you in the next reading.